the blockbuster trade that could bring a superstar running back to Dallas. Yes, we're talking about Alvin Kamara. He's a name that's been buzzing in Cowboys circles, but we have some fresh updates that might just shut down all the talk. Before we dive into the juicy details, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss any of the latest Cowboys news. We're on a mission to reach 12,000 subscribers, and your support is vital in helping us grow. Now, let's get into it. Could Alvin Kamara truly solve the Cowboys' run game issues, or is this just another trade rumor destined to go nowhere? Let's break it down. If there's any running back in the league who could step in and immediately make a difference for the Cowboys, it would have to be Alvin Kamara. The guy is an absolute beast when it comes to versatility. Whether you're talking about his downhill running or his ability to catch out of the backfield, Kamara has it all. In fact, during his first 4 seasons in the NFL, he posted over 80 receptions each year. That's not just elite, it's unheard of for most running backs. Let's not forget, Cowboys fans, we got a front row seat to Kamara's talent back in Week 2. He absolutely torched our defense, putting up 115 yards and 3 touchdowns in a blowout loss to the Saints. And while some say those numbers reflect more on the Cowboys' struggles stopping the run than Kamara's skills, there's no denying his ability to find the end zone. Now, here's a question for you. Do you think Alvin Kamara would be the right fit for the Cowboys' offense? Or should the team look elsewhere for help in the run game? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear what you think. The Kamara to Dallas buzz really picked up steam thanks to none other than Robert Griffin III. The former NFL quarterback and now analyst suggested on Twitter, or should we say X, that if the Saints continue to struggle, they might consider selling off some of their top talent. And who better for the Cowboys to target than Kamara? Griffin's exact words were, "If the New Orleans Saints continue to stink up the joint these next few weeks, the Dallas Cowboys should see if they are in sell mode and trade for Alvin Kamara." On paper, it makes sense. Kamara is still under contract with the Saints for another season, but it's a monster deal worth $75 million over 5 years. However, there's a catch. Next season, his cap hit skyrockets to a jaw-dropping $29 million, which would likely need to be restructured for any trade to happen. But here's where the plot thickens. Kamara himself chimed in to shoot down these trade rumors. When a since-deleted report surfaced, claiming that Kamara had requested a trade, the running back took to Twitter/X, saying, "I ain't request a trade, so that's a lie. I'm in an orange robe on the way to Knoxville, #whodat." So, Cowboys fans, it looks like Kamara isn't itching to leave New Orleans anytime soon. But what do you think? Should Jerry Jones pick up the phone anyway and make the Saints an offer they can't refuse? Vote in the poll and let us know in the comments. One of the biggest obstacles in making a trade for Kamara is his massive contract. While he's still a talented player, no one can deny that the Saints have really kicked the financial can down the road. Next season, Kamara's cap hit is an eye-popping $29 million, which means the Cowboys would need to get very creative in restructuring his deal. Here's where it gets tricky. Kamara's production has been trending downward over the last few years. Back in his rookie season, he led the league with an incredible 6.1 yards per carry, but over the last 4 seasons, he's averaging just 3.9 yards per carry. That's a significant drop-off. However, Kamara's value as a pass catcher is undeniable, and in Mike McCarthy's offense, having a back who can be a threat out of the backfield would be a huge asset. Let's face it, the Cowboys' current running game hasn't exactly been lighting up the stat sheet. Adding a proven veteran like Kamara, even in a diminished role, would still be an upgrade. What do you think? Would you be willing to bring Kamara to Dallas, despite the financial risks? Or is it time for the Cowboys to look at younger, cheaper options? Let's get a debate going in the comments. Now, this is where things get interesting. Historically, Jerry Jones has been known for pulling off big trades, but only when he feels like he's one move away from a Super Bowl. Is this the time for him to roll the dice again? For Kamara to come to Dallas, Jones would need to be aggressive and creative in making the numbers work. He'd also need to figure out if Kamara can still be the game changer he once was. There's no doubt that his versatility would be a huge asset, but at 29 years old, it's fair to ask, does Kamara have enough left in the tank to justify such a bold move? Would you want to see Jerry Jones swing for the fences on this trade, or should he play it safe? Type yes or no in the comments. Alright, Cowboys Nation, let's dig even deeper into Alvin Kamara's recent performances, because his accomplishments on the field are hard to ignore. Despite all the trade rumors, Kamara is still proving he's a force to be reckoned with. 2023 was a season filled with milestones for Kamara, and although he got off to a rocky start with a 3-game suspension for violating the NFL's personal conduct policy, stemming from a physical altercation back in 2022, he wasted no time getting back to form. When Kamara returned in Week 4 of the 2023 season, he made history almost immediately. In his first game back against the Buccaneers, Kamara had 13 receptions for just 33 yards, setting an NFL record for the fewest receiving yards with at least 13 receptions. Yes, that's an odd stat, but it just goes to show how involved Kamara is in the passing game, regardless of yardage. Then, just a couple of weeks later, on October 8th, Kamara did something truly special. He scored his 73rd career touchdown, passing Marquez Colston to become the Saints' all-time touchdown leader. That's no small feat, folks. Kamara has now etched his name in New Orleans Saints history, and if you're a football fan, you know breaking records like that doesn't happen every day. Cowboys Nation, what do you think? Would Alvin Kamara's record-breaking abilities bring a much-needed spark to the Cowboys' backfield? Comment below if you think Kamara could be the key to fixing our running game struggles. Kamara didn't stop there. He kept adding to his legacy throughout the 2023 season. In Week 8, Kamara recorded a rushing and receiving touchdown in a win against the Colts, becoming the first player in Saints history to reach 10,000 all-purpose yards. Talk about a dual-threat back. His ability to contribute both on the ground and through the air would be a huge asset in Mike McCarthy's offense, don't you think? But Kamara wasn't done setting records. In Week 10 against the Vikings, Kamara tied the great Marshall Faulk for the most career two-point conversions with 7. Then, in Week 13 against the Lions, Kamara added 2 more rushing touchdowns, breaking records for the most rushing touchdowns and the most scrimmage yards in Saints franchise history. This guy is a walking highlight reel. By the end of 2023, Kamara had played in 13 games, starting 12 of them. He crossed the 100-yard scrimmage mark 6 times and finished the season with 694 rushing yards, 5 rushing touchdowns, and 75 receptions for 466 receiving yards. It's safe to say Kamara still has gas left in the tank, even as he approaches 30 years old. But here's a question for you, Cowboys fans. Knowing Kamara's record-breaking 2023 season and the value he could add to the Cowboys offense, would you still want to see Dallas make a move for him? Even with his contract and potential trade complications? Let us know in the comments. We're really curious to hear your take. Now let's fast forward to the 2024 season, where Kamara proved once again why he's one of the NFL's most versatile backs. In Week 2, against, you guessed it, our very own Dallas Cowboys, Kamara had one of his best games of the season. He totaled a whopping 180 scrimmage yards, including 115 rushing yards, 65 receiving yards, and scored 3 rushing touchdowns plus a receiving touchdown in the Saints' 44-19 blowout win over Dallas. That performance earned him NFC Offensive Player of the Week, and it's a reminder that Kamara still has the ability to dominate, especially when he's up against teams that struggle to stop the run, like our Cowboys did in that game. Now, we've all seen how our defense has had issues stopping the run this season. We got a front row seat to Kamara's dominance, but maybe, just maybe, if Kamara were on our side, things would be different. Here's a fun question for you, Cowboys fans. If Kamara was wearing the star on his helmet, how many yards do you think he'd put up against a defense like ours? Go ahead and drop your guesses in the comments. Looking at Kamara's 2024 season so far, there's no question he could still be a major threat in the NFL. His versatility as both a runner and a pass catcher would make him an ideal fit for a team like the Cowboys, who desperately need more explosiveness out of the backfield. However, the big question remains, is Jerry Jones willing to get aggressive and make a move for Kamara? We've talked about his contract complications, the Saints' potential reluctance to part ways with their all-time leader in touchdowns and scrimmage yards, and of course, Kamara's own statements that he's not looking for a trade. But in the NFL, things change fast. If the Cowboys continue to struggle in the run game and the Saints continue to spiral out of control, it might just make sense for both teams to get a deal done. Could Alvin Kamara be the missing piece that puts Dallas back in the Super Bowl conversation? Let's throw it out to you, Cowboys Nation. Should Jerry Jones get creative and aggressive to bring Kamara to Dallas? Or would you rather see the team focus on younger, cheaper talent in the backfield? Vote in the poll, and make sure you share your thoughts in the comments. As always, we want to thank you for tuning in to Cowboys News TV. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you stay updated with all the latest Cowboys news and rumors. We're closing in on 12,000 subscribers, and your support means the world to us. Help us hit that goal by subscribing and being part of our Cowboys community. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video. Go Cowboys!